Look, I'm gonna tell you something that's gonna piss off every single guru on this platform. 99% of entrepreneurs are gonna fail this year, and I know that because I was about to be one of them. 6 months ago, I was running multiple brands, doing millions a month, but I could feel something start to crack. Ad costs were skyrocketing, my supplier was raising COGS, and just so many little issues started to pop up. It was getting harder and harder to acquire customers. I was starting to think my businesses were about to collapse, and genuinely, for the first time in years, I was legitimately scared for the future. Then I discovered something that absolutely changed everything. And not just my business, but the entire perspective on how wealth and entrepreneurship is built online. And look guys, this isn't some cookie cutter information. What I'm about to show you is the same shift that killed Blockbuster when Netflix came out. The same shift that destroyed taxi companies when Uber came out. And as of right now, it's starting to happen to every single online business you guys know. Most people do not know what's about to come. But for the entrepreneurs that do, they're about to generate generational wealth. So let me tell you the moment where I realized everything I knew about e-commerce was completely wrong. It was actually earlier this year when I was looking over my numbers. On paper, everything was great. We're making millions a month and everything was amazing, but something was off. You see, I was starting to spend more and more to acquire the same customer. My margins were actually getting thinner every single month. And worst of all, I started to realize that I was completely dependent on the platform we were running ads on, meaning if they wanted to kick me out, I would be out of business completely. And that's when it hit me. I wasn't running a business, I was just renting success from different ad platforms. And the rent was getting more and more expensive every single month. While most of us were struggling with these issues, it seemed like there was a small group of people who were just immune to these issues. And these guys weren't just surviving, they were thriving. Their customers were coming back to buy more and more, their margins were increasing, and it didn't seem like their team costs were eating up their whole entire business like it was for us. And it seemed like they had an unfair advantage, but I just couldn't figure it out. So I did what every overly obsessed entrepreneur would do. I spent months and months reverse engineering why these guys were successful and thriving while other people were dying out. And what I discovered changed everything. See, while everyone was playing the same game, finding viral products, ripping ads, and competing on price, these entrepreneurs figured out something completely different. They weren't just selling products, they were building actual brands that customers actually cared about. But here's the crazy part. They were doing it faster than anyone else in the space. What used to take months or even years to build, they were accomplishing it in weeks. And the secret wasn't just hard work or better products. They had started to use artificial intelligence that gave them a massive benefit over everyone else in the space. And I'm not talking about ChatGPT just to write product description. I'm talking about using AI to build the entire brand ecosystem. From product development to customer experience to scaling techniques, their whole business was reliant on AI. They were essentially building what I call AI-powered brands. While traditional dropshippers were just fighting over the same customers, these guys were creating brand new categories. They understood something that most people didn't, that customers don't buy products, they buy transformation. They buy the person that they wanted to become. And when you build a brand around a transformation and not just a product, everything changes. They pay a premium price. They come back and buy more. They refer their friends. And most importantly, you build something with real value, something that can be sold for millions down the line. This was making me realize that my previous success was built on a weak and fragile foundation. I was optimizing for the wrong metrics, focusing on the wrong things, and most importantly, completely missing the huge opportunity in front of me. So I made a decision that scared the absolute living shit out of me. I took everything I knew about e-commerce and threw it out the window. I started to rebuild my whole entire approach from the ground up, focused on brand building instead of just product selling. And just within 90 days, I launched a brand that did more revenue its first month than some of my other brands did in 6 months running time. But to be honest with you guys, the revenue wasn't even the most important part. It was the quality of the business. Customers actually wanted to come back and buy more. My margins were higher than ever. The whole business was automated with AI. From our creative structure, to our ad account media buying structure, to finding the product, building the descriptions, we had so many tools that we were using and so many strategies how to use these tools properly that it felt like I was running a completely different business. I literally didn't even need to have a team for this. I did the whole thing on my own, just using some AI tools. It was mind-blowing to me that I got so much more output and so much more revenue, which is a real metric, half if not 1/3 of the team that I'm used to, and it was all done with AI. And some of these tools being accessible to me before, it wasn't about using the tool, it was knowing how to use it. I mean, you can't cut down a tree if you're holding an axe backwards, right? And the whole thing about AI and what I was learning looking at these other guys making so much money with such less work was it wasn't about the tool you're using, it's about how you use the tool. And let's be honest guys, if you know how to use these tools properly, you will outcompete everyone else on the market. I mean, again, guys, think about it. It's a supercomputer that works for you 24/7. And if you're not using an e-commerce in 2024, you will die. For the first time in years, I felt like I was actually building something real, something that couldn't be destroyed by one algorithm change or ad account ban. It wasn't traditional dropshipping. We weren't competing on price anymore. We were competing on value because people really believed in the transformation we were selling, and we were able to create creatives, product descriptions, and just an overall brand with AI that portrayed this transformation. We found it very easy to sell at a high price. But here's what really blew my mind. This wasn't just a better way to do e-commerce. This was a fundamental shift on how we do business online. Just like how social media killed traditional advertising, or how streaming killed TV, AI brand building is killing traditional e-commerce. And the entrepreneurs that understand this are gonna catch a massive wave of wealth. They're building businesses faster, better, and stronger than before. Businesses that can be profitable, can also scale, and have little to no startup costs. If you know how to use AI properly, you will be the best in any industry, most importantly, e-commerce. And the crazy part is, guys, we are still in the early days. This is like being able to buy Amazon stock in 1997 or buying Bitcoin in 2012. The people who learn this game and understand this shift will have an unfair advantage for the time to come. But the thing is, guys, most people won't move. They'll stick to what they know, even if it isn't even working anymore. They'll keep trying to optimize their way out of a broken system instead of trying to try something new. Look, I'm gonna be brutally honest with you guys. What I'm describing isn't easier than the traditional methods. It's better. It requires the same work and dedication to build something real out. Most people watching this will just nod along, maybe save this video, and just go back to doing what they were doing before. They'll stick to the same methods that are just getting harder and harder day by day and just stick with it because that's what they know. And I get it, new things are scary and it takes effort to take that leap. But for the small percentage of people that actually want to take the opportunity, try something new, their wins are gonna be massive. We're talking about the difference between building a job for yourself versus building something that can create generational wealth. I mean, you guys have seen my results before. You know these type of things don't just make a little bit of money. You can genuinely make millions with AI-powered brands. The framework I've developed isn't just about making cash flow, but cash flowing and building something real that can be sold for millions down the line. So what does this actually look like in practice? Let me give you a high-level framework, but just understand, implementing and knowing are two completely different things. Stop thinking about products and start thinking about transformation. What change do your customers want to see in their life? What problems keep them up at night? What would make them feel like a completely different person? Second, use AI to accelerate every part of the brand building process. From market research to creative development to customer service, everything needs to be automated with AI. AI literally becomes your unfair advantage. You can build something remarkably fast and, most importantly, better than anyone else out there. Third, focus on building real value instead of just stacking quick wins. You actually want to create a product that people want to buy again. You build communities around your brand, and you build systems that work without you having to babysit them 24/7. And finally, you build with exit in mind. Every decision is made so you can focus on building a brand that can sell for millions down the line. Because that's the real gold, guys. It's not just building for cash flow, it's building something that can actually exit, which 99% of these online entrepreneurs can't talk about because they've never done it. Coming from someone who's exited before, I can tell you the real check comes when you sell a business. And this is one-on-one entrepreneurship for you guys. Build to sell. Here's the reality, guys. In 18 months, there's gonna be two kinds of entrepreneurs. Those who adapted to building AI-powered brands, and those who stuck with the traditional methods. I've documented everything I've learned about this transformation. The exact strategies, tools, and basically everything I wish I knew when I started 6 months ago. And we put it all inside of Brandify, our education company and incubator that's specifically designed for entrepreneurs that want to create brands online, not just chase viral products. The link to join is in the description. But to be honest with you guys, I'm looking for people who are 100% serious and actually making this work. This isn't for people who are looking for a get-rich-quick scheme. This is for people who want to build something that actually lasts. Because to be honest with you guys, the window to get ahead is closing very fast. Every day, more and more people are catching on, but you're still early if you move fast. So the question stands, are you going to be a part of the 99% of people who didn't adapt and thrive, or will you be that 1% that saw success? If you got value from this video, be sure to hit the like and subscribe button. As you guys know, I'm one of the few people that actually made it with e-commerce, making millions online. So if you want some real thought out strategies on how you can do the same, be sure to watch our other content, subscribe. I'll see you guys soon.